Hi, everybody. So I'm back with another filmography review. And tonight I'm going to be talking about all my favorite Kathy Bates roles because I love Kathy Bates. Kathy Bates is my favorite actress. I absolutely love her. Now, I'm not really a fan of her like macabre, kind of scary stuff that she does. I like the heartwarming stuff, the funny stuff, the family friendly type stuff that she does. So I'm not going to be talking about any of her like real like horror movie type roles. I do plan on talking a little bit about American Horror Story though. But anyway, I'm gonna start with her first movie, which was called Taking Off. So this is really cool. Kathy sings in this movie. She doesn't sing a whole lot in her career. She sang some for the show Disjointed. She did a soundtrack for that. Um, but she doesn't really sing a whole great deal. She mainly focuses on acting. But she sang in Taking Off, and it was really nice. Carly Simon wrote a song. Carly Simon was in the movie with her as well. Um, so this was not only was this Kathy Bates' first movie, but this was also Carly Simon's first movie, and it was also Georgia Engle's first movie. You know, Georgia Engle who played Georgette on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. So it was her first movie, and Carly Simon and Kathy Bates' first movie. They were all together in Taking Off. So Taking Off is about the counterculture of the '60s with the hippies, the whole hippie movement. It was about that. And they go through, just, it's just a big, sing along kind of with hippies. It's a very interesting movie. It's very cool. Okay, so then there's Fried Green Tomatoes. And I know I'm skipping a whole lot of roles, but moving on now to Fried Green Tomatoes. So Fried Green Tomatoes is her big like comedy role, kind of heartfelt comedy that she did with Jessica Tandy and Mary Stuart Masterson. And so she plays this woman who goes into the nursing home and makes friends with Jessica Tandy. And Jessica Tandy flashes back and tells all these stories about her views growing up in Alabama. And that's neat because I'm from Alabama. But where she, did all this stuff and she worked in a restaurant and everything. And her friend was with her, and her friend had a child, and the child grew up, and then he got injured by a train. It's all very wonderful story. It's very heartfelt, and it's very touching, and just kind of has a lot of sad moments too in the story. And it's a good story. It's written by Fannie Flagg, um, who was a regular contestant on Match Game. She did Match Game a lot, and she became an author, um, and she wrote some really amazing books as well. And she wrote Fried Green Tomatoes, which was wonderful. And I loved the movie very much. It was very down home. It's just like the pinnacle of Southern movies. It's really fantastic. Okay, so then the next one is Used People. Now, this was my first introduction to Kathy Bates. This was the first time I saw Kathy Bates. I loved her. She plays this sister of Shirley MacLaine, and she's Kathy Bates is the one in the family who's kind of looked down upon and kind of pushed aside, and people don't really take her seriously, and I could really relate to that, especially, and I thought it was just very poignant and very beautiful, maybe very wonderful story. Okay, so the next one is A Home of Our Own. And now in this one, she plays this lady. She works in a factory. She gets fired from the factory because this, like her boss in the factory, one of her bosses in the factory, grabs her rear end, and she gets really mad at him and like just lets him have it. So then they fire her. That was totally unfair. That was just sexual harassment. And it was just unfair. But this took place in the early 60s. So that kind of thing happened a lot back then as well. So she's trying to get a home of her own for her kids. Um, and she's just a mom that's just doing her best, and it's just a very touching and heartwarming movie. Okay, so then there's Titanic, and Titanic was incredible. This movie really takes you back to the early 20th century, when the Titanic was in its but when the Titanic sunk. So it's really fantastic. All the wardrobe is just so true to life to that time. She plays, Sinkable Molly Brown, who is just like new money, they call her, because she just became wealthy. A lot of people look down on her because she was new money. She makes friends with Leonardo DiCaprio, and it's just a really, really cool movie. She helps the people onto their boats and everything at the end. It's very wonderful. I love the Titanic movie. And I love Kathy Bates in the Titanic movie. I thought she was brilliant. Okay, so then the next one is The Water Boy. This good movie, really good movie, with Adam Sandler. So, this is really funny. It's just jokes, back to back jokes all the time. It's so funny. She plays this like mom in the bayou, this big mama kind of like in the bayou, and she's just such a hilarious mom in this. So she they're they're down eating eating dinner, and they're eating a snake. There's this humongous snake on the table. And so the guy says, what part of the snake are we eating? And she says, I think we're eating the knee of the snake. And I always thought that was really, really funny. Eating the knee of the snake. I thought that was real funny. Okay, so then there's Rat Race. That really good movie. Now she didn't have a huge role in this, but she plays this lady who is trying to sell Whoopi Goldberg and her daughter squirrels as they go on their journey to find their money. So she's trying to sell these ladies some squirrels, and then they don't buy the squirrels. They keep going, and then they go down. She gives them wrong directions, and they go down this cliff, and the signs say you should have bought a squirrel as it goes down the cliff, and they're like, and it's just really very hilarious movie. There's a lot of big names in that movie. Whoopi Goldberg, there's John Cleese, there's Kathy Bates, and all these people. So, and it's a really funny movie too. Okay, so then there's About Schmidt. About Schmidt was with Jack Nicholson. And Jack Nicholson plays this guy. His wife just died. His daughter is getting married to this guy. The guy's mom is Kathy Bates. So there's a scene in this when Kathy Bates has a nude scene, actually. And she's with Jack Nicholson in the like jacuzzi and everything. So that's interesting. Kathy Bates having a nude scene. And it's just a very cool movie, very funny, and just very cool. I loved it. Okay, so then there's Failure to Launch. She did this with Matthew McConaughey, and I think that guy's name is Terry Bradshaw, and Sarah Jessica Parker. So she plays Matthew McConaughey's mom. They're trying to get Matthew McConaughey to move out of their house. Like, he's a grown man and he's still living in their house with them. So they're like, it's time to go, son. And they hire Sarah Jessica Parker to fall in love with him so he will move out of the house with her. And then he finds out about their plan and stuff. So it's a real good, like, romantic comedy. It's good. Okay, then there's The Blind Side. This was really good. Very good. I love this movie with Tim McGraw. And you don't see Tim McGraw acting a whole lot, but he acted in this movie and it was good. Sandra Bullock and this guy who's like a football player. and he gets adopted by Sandra Bullock and Tim McGraw, and Kathy Bates is his like tutor. She tutors him and teaches him about you know educate. She gives him an education and tutors him and helps him like try to improve his grades. So he wants to go to this certain college, and Kathy Bates is kind of like doesn't want him to go to that college. She wants him to go to the other school. So she tells him there's ghosts in the basement, to try to scare him into going to the other school. Okay, so then there's Alice, this wonderful movie. So this is Alice in Wonderland. It took place in modern day. So you have this Alice, she goes into Wonderland. She meets up with all these characters. Colm Meaney is in it. And Kathy Bates plays the Queen of Hearts. So it's very cool, very fantastical, and just wonderful. It's just really, really beautiful to watch this movie. I love that. I love Alice so much. Okay, so then she did Two and a Half Men, and now at this point in Two and a Half Men, Martin Sheen had left Charlie Sheen had left the show. They fired Charlie Sheen, and so Kathy Bates did it like a cameo real quick, where she played Charlie Sheen, like coming back as like a ghost or something. So that was really interesting. Okay, so then, and she actually won an Emmy for that too, as well. So then there's my favorite Kathy Bates role, and that is Harry's Law. I love Harry's Law so much. So in Harry's Law, she plays this lawyer who has her law firm inside of a shoe store. And she's like being a lawyer to all these guys who are inner city kind of guys. So she's helping them out. She's like getting them a really low fee or no fee. She's really helping them out a whole lot. So then later on, she gets a big firm with a nice firm. She's no longer a shoe store and everything. It's very, very cool. I hate that it only lasted for 2 seasons. I wish that it could have lasted a lot longer than that because I really, really enjoyed it. Okay, so then there's The Big Bang Theory. This one, she plays Amy Farrah Fowler's mom, and she's just brilliant in this. I loved her in that. Every role she does is just a new, wonderful experience, and I love The Big Bang Theory. And I love watching her play Amy Farrah Fowler's mom a whole lot. That was a lot of fun to watch. Okay, so then there's American Horror Story. Now, American Horror Story, she plays this really despicable woman who apparently gets like reincarnated or something somehow into different people, and she's every like season she comes back as a different person. Like I didn't see a whole lot of this, but I got kind of the gist of it from watching a little bit of it. She comes back each season as a different person. She's like a cat at one point. She's a robot at one point. She's a hotel worker at one point. She's just a different person each time. It's really interesting. Okay, so then the most recent one is Matlock. And now we haven't seen a whole lot of Matlock. We, as the public, haven't seen a whole lot of Matlock because it's only been one episode, or one or two, maybe 2 episodes of Matlock. But it's brilliant. I loved what I've seen of it. It's very, very wonderful and just a real fun show, I should say, show to watch. It's really it's got humor, it's got intrigue, it's got drama, it's got everything, and it's very separate from the old Matlock. It's not really like quite like that at all. It's just a unique show, and it's really cool. I love Matlock so much. But anyway, those are the Kathy Bates roles that I'm going to be going over tonight, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you stick around. So I'm going to be doing some more possible filmography reviews, some album reviews, music album reviews, and some actual music, and all kinds of wonderful things happening on my channel. So stay tuned, and I'll see you next time. Bye.